Hey, Tony here. So today I'm going to go over all of the titles that I watched during the month of July. I am going to be using my Letterboxd account if you'd like to follow along with me. And I'll be telling you what I watched each day and my rating for it, if I liked it or not. So definitely follow along with me on my Letterboxd account. I do have that link down below. Now I was able to almost watch. This will be the first month that I haven't watched a movie every single day during the month because of the last week of July kind of ruined that for me. So I'll let you know as soon with my last title what happened after that last title that prevented me from seeing a movie every single day during the month. But I did get out to the theater a few times and saw some really good films. So first up, I watched American Flyers. I really enjoyed this one. This right here was a really nice surprise. It does star Kevin Costner and someone else. I can't remember his name. But it's just a really good, feel-good movie as far as two brothers. A really great story. If you've never seen American Flyers, check it out. It's worth the watch. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. And then I went to the theater and I saw Jurassic World Rebirth. I enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't the best Jurassic Park movie or Jurassic World movie. It wasn't as terrible as what some people say it is. To me, it was an entertaining movie. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. And then I watched Warfare. I've been wanting to see this one, so I did watch Warfare. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very intense story. I gave it 3 stars and a heart, and very happy that I was able to watch that. On the 4th of July, I watched Born on the 4th of July. It had been a very long time since I had seen this one, so I thought, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and watch it again. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. I liked it for what it was. The story wasn't the best in the world. Tom Cruise did a lot I don't know, Tom Cruise was kind of weird in this movie, but still I enjoyed it. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. Okay, the next film that I watched was on streaming, and it was called The Iceman. It is one that I did not own in the collection, but somebody had recommended that I check it out, so I checked it out on streaming. I gave it 1.5 stars and a heart. So it got a low rating because it just the quality of the film wasn't the best, but I did appreciate the performances and the story, so I gave it a heart. It's one that I would revisit and one that I might actually add to the collection when the time allows. Okay, the next film that I watched is The Man in the Moon. This right here was my second time watching this film. It had been a very long time since I had seen it. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the setting of the story. I enjoyed the performances. Got a young Reese Witherspoon in it. I thought it had a really good homey type feel, and so I really enjoyed that film. Okay, next up is a film that I watched on a recommendation, and that is for Journeyman Blu-ray release. This right here was recommended. There is no US release for a Blu-ray release, so I purchased this overseas and it came in, and I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I really loved the film. I enjoyed the performance. It is about a boxer who has to overcome a situation, and if you have the opportunity to watch Journeyman, definitely check it out. It is worth the watch. Okay, next up I watched Monkey Shines. This right here is a film that had been a long time since I had seen. The last time I saw this film when it was released in the theater. And so I did purchase the 4K release and still enjoy it. I gave 3 stars and a heart. I do enjoy that story. It's a very intense thriller type story and very, very much well worth the watch. Okay, next up was a first time watch, and that is for When Evil Lurks. This image on the cover is very important. It was a very shocking image. Very good film. I really enjoyed this one. It has a lot of shock value in it. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. 100% recommendation from me to check it out. Okay, next up I watched Devil's Gate. I gave this one 2 stars and a heart. Devil's Gate, to be honest with you, trying to remember what this movie is about. It looks like there's an alien on the front, and I do see the cast down here at the bottom. Okay, I do remember this movie now. So there is this person who is protecting their property. There is a missing child situation going on, and I thought it was a very interesting story. It wasn't the best story, but it kept me entertained. I gave it 2 stars and a heart. Happy to have it in the collection. Okay, next up I went to the theater and I saw Elio, which was the newest Disney Pixar film, and I thought it was great. I don't know why people didn't go see it, or why people didn't take their kids to go see it. It's always awkward going to a kid's movie, but I did want to see this one, and it happened to be like a double feature. I was going to see a movie after that one, so I did see Elio. I gave it 2 stars and a heart. I look forward to having it added to my collection. It was a really good story. I enjoyed it. And then next up I went and saw Superman, 2025 Superman. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I did like it for what it was. To me, it could have been better. Maybe people had overhyped it or something, but in this particular film, Superman really gets beat up quite a bit. And in my mind, to me, Superman would be someone that would be almost just invincible, other than Kryptonite, of course. But man, he was just getting beat up constantly in this film, and I didn't really care much for that. But I do look forward to at least checking it out again, to see if I like it any better. Okay, over the next several days, I watched all of the other Superman films that I wanted to see. I didn't see Man of Steel, but I did see all of the other ones. So I watched all 4 of these films, and because I wanted to revisit them. I hadn't revisited them in a very long time. So first up, of course, was Superman from the Christopher Reeve Superman. I gave it 4 stars and a heart. I still love it. I still remember seeing it as a kid. It's my favorite. And even though it may not hold up nowadays with all the special effects that we have, to me this was top notch back when this was released. 4 stars and a heart. Okay, next up I watched Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. This was the first time that I had ever seen this cut of the film. Superman 2 to me is a continuation from the first film, a complete continuation, and I always think of them together, and I think the Donner cut really worked that out very well. I gave it 3 stars and a heart, and I really enjoyed the special features on this release. After that I watched Superman 3. I gave it 1.5 stars and a heart. I still like it for what it was. It was a big change from the first 2. Not as good at all, but still an enjoyable watch. I'm not a big Richard Pryor fan. Okay, next up I watched Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. I gave it 2 stars and a heart. I did like it more than part 3, because I know a lot of people probably like 3 more than 4, but I like 4 more than 3, probably because I'm not a big Richard Pryor fan. And also I think I like 4, The Quest for Peace, because Christopher Reeve was actively involved in this particular film. And to me, I could feel that because of the characters that were brought back, and so I really enjoyed it. After that, I watched Superman Returns, this release here, and I had only seen this one time. I wanted to see it again, and I really enjoyed it. It's a very long film. I gave it 3 stars and a heart, but definitely worth the watch. If you've never seen Superman Returns, I think it's a great watch. I think that they did a great job of that film, and I'm very happy to have this one in my collection. Okay, next up I went and watched, okay, never mind. Next up I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. I wanted to revisit this before the film came out, so I did. I gave this one 2 stars. I liked the film. I liked the story. I think it was poorly acted, but it is a film of its time, I guess. I gave it 2 stars and a heart because I did enjoy the film, and I will continue watching the film. After that, I watched I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I liked this even less than the first one. I gave it 1.5 stars, but I still gave it a heart. Very goofy and silly, but still worth the watch. And I'm glad that I watched both of those before I went and saw I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. because it's very important that you see these two films prior to seeing that one if you want to have a better connection with the film. I enjoyed I Know What You Did Last Summer in the theater. I gave it 2 stars and a heart. Not the best film, but still fun and enjoyable, and I will definitely be adding that one to my collection. Okay, next up, I watched for the first time Anora. I had picked this one up in the Criterion sale and wanted to check it out. But before I opened this package, people had warned me that it's a little bit explicit, so I did want to check it out first. I enjoyed the story. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. I do want to keep it in the collection, but there was a lot of it that I think could have been tamed down. And to me, I think the story was good. It's a little bit long. And another thing is, I don't know that it. I don't know if I'll be revisiting it anytime soon, but I still wanted to have that one in the collection. Okay, next up, I watched Heaven Can Wait. It had been a long time since I had seen this one. I wanted to check it out again. I watched this the first time as a kid back in 1978 or 79, and I gave it 2 stars and a heart. I do enjoy the story. I think it's got a really good story about it. If you've never seen this film, I would definitely recommend that you check it out. It is dated. When you watch it, it will be a dated type film, but still check it out. Next, I went to the theater and I saw Eddington. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. I did enjoy it for what it was. It was in a very tiny theater, but it still was a packed theater. And I do want to check the film out again when it comes out on physical media. Next up, I watched Experimenter. This right here was a bore. I did not like it. I gave it a 1/2 star, no heart. I don't really care to watch it anymore. I'm probably going to sell this copy. It was just a boring story. It had some good parts about it. I think the acting was good. The story itself was really a draggy, boring story. So I would not recommend that one. Same with this next film. The next film I watched was The Internship. I had never seen this one and I wanted to check it out. And I gave this one 1 star, no heart. I think there's better films. If I'm not mistaken, I know Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson have done other films together. And I think it was done better than this one. I didn't really care for this one. I would not recommend it. Next up, I watched the Fantastic Four First Steps in the theater. And I loved it. I really did enjoy the film. I thought it was fun. Has a really good story. Kept me entertained. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. Definitely looking forward to checking it out again. I did add the poster to the collection, and I also added Herbie to the collection. I do think they had some really good promotional items for this film, and I'm 100% ready to add it to the collection. Next up, I watched Boiler Room. I didn't really care for Boiler Room. I gave it 1 star, no heart. It had some good parts about it, but overall, I didn't really care for the story. It was very repetitive, and I don't know, I just didn't care for it. I would not recommend it. Then the last film that I watched was on July the 27th. That was the last time I watched a film, was on July 27th, and I watched Magazine Dreams, this DVD release. So yes, it is a DVD that I watched because there are no other releases for this in the US that I think that it deserves. I think it deserves at least a Blu-ray release, and to me I think it deserves a 4K release. This was an excellent film. This Jonathan Majors did an excellent job performing in this film. I was very entertained. I was glued to the set because I wanted to see what was going to happen with this character. It was so intense. I gave this one 4 stars and a heart. I very rarely give anything 4 stars or above, but this 100% deserved a 4 star. And I really hope that someone does a really good release for this. If you've never seen Magazine Dreams, definitely just check it out. You may love it, you may not like it, I don't know, but Jonathan Majors did a great job. So the 27th was the last day that I watched the film. Where I live, school is going to be starting back. Actually, from this video that I'm recording, it'll be starting back on Monday. And so the 2 weeks prior to school, so first off, during the whole summer, it's been the busiest summer that I've had working over my 27 years that I've been working for the same school system. And so this is story time, just so you know why I didn't watch all my films. But it's been the busiest summer. Usually, during the summer, I usually work four 10-hour days. And this year I wasn't able to do that because there's so much that's going on in the school system. We have 117 schools, and I have 37 of those schools that I look after for technology. And just a lot of big things were happening this school year. So I didn't even get my 4-day 10-hour days, my 4-day 10-hour work days, and be off on Friday. So I had to work 5 days a week, plus extra hours during the week. And then also a bunch of other stuff. So I didn't have time to watch films the last few days just because it got more intense with work. But during August, I do plan on watching at least one film every single day. I hope I'm able to stick to that. I hope that there's going to be some really good films in the theater that I can check out. So please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the films that I've watched, and also give me some recommendations of films that you think I should check out during the month of August. I appreciate you watching this video today, and we will see you next time.